Evolution and the development of domestic breeds. Darwin's theory of evolution. What is evolution? Evolution is the process in which different kinds of living organisms are believed to have developed from earlier forms during the history on Earth. Charles Darwin set off on a 5-year voyage around the world in the 19th century. By observing finches in the Galapagos Islands, he noticed changes and adaptations in the different varieties of this bird. Whilst on the Galapagos Islands, Darwin noticed that there was a wide variation in the size and shape of many of the finches' beaks. Darwin soon realized that the variations in the beak sizes were an adaptation that helps the finches take advantage of the food in their local environment. For example, the birds with sharp, thin beaks main food source were bugs and grubs, whereas the larger claw-shaped beaks relied on a diet of nuts, fruits, and buds. Hereditary and biological change. Mutations. Changes in DNA that lead to adaptations, e.g. the mole, and harmful mutations. There are different types of mutations. However, mutations are not always a bad thing. Although mutations may not always be a bad thing, there are certain harmful mutations that do occur, such as albinism, which affects the amount of melanin, which is the pigment that colors the skin. This is a harmful mutation, as this can drastically affect animals that need to stay hidden, such as hedgehogs. Albinism in hedgehogs greatly affects their survival rate, as they stand out to predators and are not from an area where being white is easily hidden. However, some mutations are a great success. This is seen in the star-nosed mole. Although they were born with eyes, their eyesight is very, very poor. This led to the star-nosed mole developing an incredible nose that helped them feel and smell, and basically acted as the mole's eyes. Adaptations, or adaptive traits, is a trait with a current functional role in the life history of an organism that is maintained and evolved through natural selection. Natural selection. Animals with desirable traits will succeed in environment and pass these traits on to their offspring. Why does extinction occur? What is extinction? Extinction is an evolutive process that leads to the disappearance of a species or a population. Why does extinction occur? Extinction occurs when an animal can no longer adapt to the changes in their environment, or if there are things compromising the environment that a species lives in, such as weather extremities like flooding, heat waves, droughts, and freezes. Disease, predators, and competitors also play a big role in extinction. Humans have a large impact on why extinction occurs. This is through poaching, hunting, and habitat loss, which is the greatest factor to extinction today. All of these animals have 3 things in common. They are all extinct. They all went extinct in the last 10 years, and it was all through human interruption, either down to habitat loss or excessive poaching. What is domestication? The process of adapting plants and animals for human use. Uses of the domestication of breeds are food, work, clothing, and medicine. Domesticated species are not wild and therefore must be cared for by humans. Darwin had 2 theories of domestication. Unconscious domestication. This is seen when animals live in close proximity to humans and begin to pick up certain traits. This leads to the domestication of animals through generations and generations. Wolves were able to thrive by following humans to scavenge for food near campfires and garbage dumps. Eventually, a relationship developed between them both. The dogs fed on human food scraps, and humans found that the dogs could warn them of approaching dangers, help with hunting, act as pets, provide warmth, or supplement their food supply. It is speculated that tamer than average wolves, less wary of humans, selected themselves as domestic dogs over many generations. Every breed of dog is a descendant of wolves. Methodical selection. When humans deliberately select non-domestic animals for specific traits, e.g. their friendliness. Russian scientist Dmitry K. Belyaev showed the power of selective breeding by breeding silver foxes. Dmitry and his team spent many years breeding the silver fox and selecting only those foxes that showed the least fear of humans to breed from. Eventually, Belyev's team selected only those that showed the most positive response to humans. After breeding, there was a population of grey-coloured foxes whose behaviour and appearance had significantly changed. They no longer showed any fear of humans and often performed tasks a domesticated dog would, such as wagging their tails and licking their human caretakers to show affection. Fascinatingly enough, these foxes had floppy ears, smaller skulls, rolled tails, and other traits commonly found in dogs. Hereditary conditions. When methodical selection is used, there is an increased risk of genetic disease caused by recessive genes. This is especially seen in the domestication of dogs. There are hundreds of different dog breeds, shapes, colors, and sizes. Many conditions that dogs inherit are in direct relation to the characteristics considered desirable in a breed, e.g., wrinkly skin and squashed faces. The characteristics of the bulldog that are causing them to suffer are the same characteristics that many people love about the bulldog. These being acne, fold dermatitis, an infection of the skin folds, folliculitis, an infection of the hair follicles, muzzle pyoderma, infectious skin disease of the muzzle area, tail fold dermatitis, a skin infection caused by the folds on the tail, abnormal dentation, abnormal placement, number of teeth, a cleft lip, cleft palate, elongated soft palate, which causes breathing disorders, and these are only a few of the many diseases the bulldog suffers from due to interbreeding. In 2004, the Kennel Club took a survey and discovered that bulldogs usually only live up to 6 years of age. The bulldog has almost every disease going, ranging from skin conditions, eye conditions, mouth and teeth, respiratory system, cardiovascular and blood conditions, reproduction, brain and glands, and digestive system. The monstrous proportion of the bulldog also makes it virtually impossible for the breed to mate without medical intervention, such as C-sections and artificial insemination. This begs the question, is it cruel to carry on breeding a dog with so many health problems? The Kennel Club. The Breeding Standards Committee worked closely with the Dog Health Group. In 2009, all of the breed standards were reviewed to ensure that no standard demands any feature which could prevent a dog from breathing, walking, and seeing freely. A breeding standard is a guideline put in place that ensures the ideal temperament, characteristics, and appearance of a breed. Although it is seen people take this too far. Kennel Club quote, "From time to time, certain conditions or exaggerations may be considered to have the potential to affect dogs in some breeds adversely, and judges and breeders are requested to refer to the Kennel Club website for details of any such current issues. If a feature or quality is desirable, it should only be present in the right measure." The Kennel Club is doing what they can to ensure that although breeding standards are put into place, that they do not affect the dog's health or welfare in any way.